In these few minutes, I have a task. To prove to you that it's possible for you to be high-performance athletes of your own lives. You might be thinking, I've never been an athlete. How can I be a high-performance athlete in my own life? I'll show you how. But first, let me introduce myself. My name is Jota. I was a swimmer. All my life, I've had sports as the greatest tool for education and transformation in my life. I was a swimmer for the Brazilian national team, and this experience was very significant for me. I had a great adversary. Everyone has a great adversary, someone you want to beat or an adversity you want to overcome. My greatest adversary was also the person I admired the most. His name was Gustavo Borges, a man standing at 2 meters and 4 centimeters tall with a massive wingspan. And this was very important for me because it revealed several competencies that I had to develop in my career as an athlete, many of which I can share with you today. But there are 3 competencies that always showed up in the most difficult moments of my life. And those most difficult moments in my life were not sports moments. I had 3 major problems in my life. The first problem was when I got fired. I worked for a company for 20 years, and I was completely convinced that I would never be fired, but I was. I spent 30 minutes staring at the HR door. The door was glass, and I didn't know what to do in that moment. I lost my identity. I was completely lost. And I thought, what am I going to do with my life now? There's no more job. I got fired. The company doesn't want Jota anymore. The second moment that was very difficult in my life was when I went bankrupt. I was in so much debt to the bank and to people that I had no capacity at that moment to pay off my debt. I went bankrupt because of my actions and my wrong decisions. And the third moment, which was the most difficult of all, was when I was certain that I was going to die for real. Everyone is certain that they will die. But for real, in months, it was when I discovered cancer in 2011 in my throat. It was malignant, it had an expiration date, and it was destroying my life. It was in these 3 moments that 3 situations converged, and I became a high-performance athlete in my own life. And I want to bring to you that you can do this too. Even if you weren't an athlete, even if you were an athlete but not an exponential athlete. It's a human capacity, a human skill that we have. And these 3 situations, which deeply affected me and took away the best from me, they happened in all 3 situations, in all 3 moments. Because a hero isn't born ready. What makes you a hero are the circumstances you go through in your life. The circumstances that happen in your life are what take away from you things that you didn't even know existed. I brought here 3 situations that I put into practice, and every time I need them, I activate them. The first one. In all 3 situations, both the firing and the cancer and the issue of being broke, I used a characteristic, a competence that all life champions have. It's the game of progress. It's about making a little progress every day, not wanting to make quantum leaps, not seeking shortcuts. Athletes have a lot of this. Athletes want to improve little by little every day. When you're facing someone who wants to improve everything at once, you're with someone who lacks clarity and who will easily get tired. When you're with someone who wants to improve a little every day and wants to play the game of progress, you're with a high-performance athlete of your own life. And that's what I did. Little by little every day. I kept improving and I kept working a little every day to cure my illness. A little every day to find better professional mechanisms. A little every day to get out of my debts. A little every day. How do you do this? You can do this through small habits. Instead of deciding to read a book a month, read a chapter a month. Instead of signing up for the gym for a year, do 1 push-up a day. Instead of saying you'll get rich, invest your money in various stocks, save $10 a day. Small movements that, when added up, make a big difference. That's a skill you have to have. The second competency was making irreversible decisions, making irreversible choices. I had to learn that there is no plan B. If you keep putting a plan B in your actions, you'll lose focus. Your focus won't be laser sharp anymore. You'll take all that energy of yours and put it in various pots. That's bad for you. Imagine a 30-year-old guy who's sure he's going to die. At 30 years old, the doctor told me I had malignant cancer. I said, "Doctor, what does that mean?" He said, "It means only Jesus Christ knows your fate now." And I said, "No. Now Jesus Christ and I know my fate. I need to make a decision, and it's a single decision, and it's irreversible." The decision was simple: I will live. Simple as that. And when you make an irreversible decision, you don't think about it anymore. There's no more plan B. What puts you with focus and what makes you become a high-performance athlete of your own life is making a decision and not turning back. Think about it, reflect on it, and conclude things in your life. There are many people still suffering because they haven't concluded things in life. Sometimes your relationship ended. Sometimes that job ended. Sometimes that company ended. Conclude and don't look back. The third thing that became very strong, and I left it for last, is not the most important, but it has great relevance to talk to you because we are with many people together in one environment. And this third thing was choosing extraordinary environments. I made the environment do the job of effort for me. Because if you're in a bad environment, with toxic people who don't have those attributes you want, willpower is the only thing left for you. You'll have to have a lot of willpower. What did I do? I migrated to an extraordinary environment, and that environment helped me. The people, the subjects, the competencies, the focus, and the proposals. That's what a high-performance athlete does. He makes a decision and doesn't change it. He enters the environment of extraordinary people, and he knows that the true game of champions is the game of progress, it's the game of habit. Every day you have to improve a little. And you might be wondering, can I do this? You can. And you don't need to have been born with great talent. You don't need to have been born rich. You don't need to have been born in another country. You can have been born anywhere. If you make these 3 decisions and act on this mechanism, you will be a hero. And to finish, I want to leave a very important message for you. This message has enormous relevance in my life. I talked a little about my story here, talked about a method. I presented a proposal for you to really become high-performance athletes of your lives. And the last thing my father told me, and I finish with this sentence that is very important to me. Because I'm telling you something and maybe you'll take it, maybe you won't. Maybe you'll use it, maybe you won't. But hours before my father died, he could have said, "Son, help me. Son, help. Son, I love you. Son, I need you to save me." But he chose to say this sentence. He said, "Son, think as you wish, do as you wish, but don't blame anyone for your results." Thank you very much.